saying, okay, why not? You know, it wasn't what you ever aspired to do when you were a kid. You see, I'm going to get a record deal. Well, you think album. You don't think single. You don't think one cut on a local record. Okay.
This is Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be typing Jon Bon Jovi. We'll be using Linda Barrens Interaction styles and temperament combined with cognitive functions. Let's go see what the monkeys over at Personality Database has them as. We do have a video of us going over all the metrics. I'll be dropping a link to those in the cognitive functions in the comments. Okay, so they have Jon Bon Jovi as a isfj. Let's check the chart here. ESFJs are informative, initiating, progression, movement, progression, process-oriented, whichever one you want to call it, which of those three you want to call it. They're concrete, they're systematic, they're TIFE and SINE. If he meets those metrics, we'll call him an ESFJ. They're also concrete, yeah, did I say that? If he meets those metrics, we'll call him ESFJ. If we don't, we'll find his actual personality type, okay? Guys, and we are still doing the free typing sessions by us. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, join our Facebook group or Discord, and message our moderator Cody, and he'll get back with your availability. Like I said, people are charging hundreds of bucks to do this. We're doing this absolutely free, and as you see, we have tons of videos to back up just how good we really are. Okay, we really take our time. We really care about building the best MBTI community. Okay, my inbox is always open for anybody who needs any type of advice, whether it be anything. I go outside of typology when it comes to lifting weights or getting healthy or stocks, crypto, anything that you feel you want to ask me. I'll give you the best answer I can, and if I don't, I know somebody else who can do that for you. Okay, relationship stuff as well. I mean, I'm not the best at relationship shit, but I do have Christian there. But if you're trying to find the right girl for you, or you're trying to pick her up, I'm your guy. But let's get into it. We have our metrics over here, and once we get enough of them, we'll start knocking them off. And comment below what you think Jon Bon Jovi's type is.
Okay, we'll see what happens. The 103.5 on the dial out there. But by my saying, okay, why not? You know, it wasn't what you ever aspired to do when you were a kid. You see, I'm going to get a record deal. Well, you think album. You don't think single. You don't think one cut on a local record. Okay, we'll see what happens. The fluke it was New York City, and I was getting airplay in New York City without a record deal or a manager or even a band at that point. And then the station was owned by a chain, and that chain picked up the song. And now it was causing a bit of a...
Sure, because now you're in a number of cities.
Okay, that's off rip. That's progression. Okay, progression, journey, whatever you want to call it. Progression, journey, movement. So we're going to hit him for progression there. Boom, already. And he's coming off the wreck. He's looking like a finisher.
Across the country, you're going national now.
The competition is saying, where'd that song, who is that, how is that? And record companies then turned around and paid attention. And in 1983, fortunately, I got a record deal.
Yeah, and then the rest is history. You get bigger and bigger.
You see how he walked you through the journey of how he got discovered? That's progression, journey, hardcore.
And now you play more and more dates, and you spend a lot of time on the road, I'm sure. What is the road like for a band? You know, those of us who don't do it, or who do the road once a year or twice a year, it's very difficult because you're not doing it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough being away. You know, you got to take care of your laundry, take care of your food, get your sleep, keep your life in order. That's tough if you don't do it all the time.
It's similar to the life of a traveling salesman.
Yep.
You know who voice he sounds like? And you guys know, I tell you this. If you find somebody whose voice sounds the same and you're able to actually identify their personality type, you will find theirs too. Okay? He's coming off direct progression. He sounds like Kurt Cobain. Exactly like Kurt Cobain here. Bon Jovi sounds like Kurt Cobain. We type Kurt Cobain, INFJ, and I already know this guy's direct progression. So we're already down to that one. And yeah.
Or this, you know, or a circus act, because in essence what you do is you live out of a suitcase. You know, everything you have is confined to that suitcase, and that's it. And you're on a bus until you get to a situation where hopefully you can fly. That's your home. So all you have is that bus, and especially coming up through the ranks, you don't even get hotel rooms except for days off. So 5 nights a week you're sleeping on a bus, and 2 nights you're in a hotel room if you're lucky. And then you've got a roommate. So the time coming up, but I wouldn't have traded that for anything. You meet people in other cities that you befriend, you find your favorite place.
You this, you that, you this, SE and I. He's been on a you rant. Okay. Usually when I see that, when I'm on a you rant, I'm usually gonna hit up for SE.
So until you get to a situation where hopefully you can fly.
Just being off that direct progression, SE and I. That would be, we're down to ISTP, INFJ, and INTJ off rip already. But we know voice type is the most nastiest tool out there. It is the most disgusting. When you find somebody with the same voice, it's like Dario Nardi and Mark Zuckerberg. Cut them off. Same voice.
That's your home. So all you have is that bus. And especially coming up through the ranks, you don't even get hotel rooms except for days off. So 5 nights a week you're sleeping on a bus, and 2 nights you're in a hotel room if you're lucky. And then you've got a roommate. So the time coming up, but I wouldn't have traded that for anything. You meet people in other cities that you befriend. You find your favorite place to go get a burger or go to a bar, and the experiences then mount up. And what I've done, the way I've seen the world and the way I've done any sightseeing was out the window of a bus or a car. You take the picture. Oh, there's Mount Fuji there on the bullet journal. Oh, that's nice. And I didn't have any desire to climb it. You know, to me that was the way to see the world. I remember on one of our tours we were flying over Mount Rushmore and said,
to me that was the way to see the world. That's NI. He said that twice there. So that's
just go around one more time. You know, just picture didn't come out. So that's really the way you see the world.
I know. The problem with the road, and when I've been on it for certain times, is you tend to go through all the places you'd like to stay, and you tend to stay in all the places you just as soon go through.
Absolutely.
You know, we went through Hong Kong and we stayed in Manila.
Right.
You know, it was just it was wrong.
Right.
What about in the early days on the road where maybe all of you have the bus and you probably can't afford a hotel room? You sleep in the bus overnight.
That's right. That was life. And as an opening act, if you know, you'd get a pizza and a couple 6-packs of beer, and that was what you lived on. It was really actually the lifestyle that you prayed for.
Sure.
You know, and look back on so fondly. That was the dream, you know, just to get on a bus. I remember our first bus on our first tour in '83, where we sat in the parking lot the entire afternoon prior to that first show on the bus. You know, you left your parents home and you sat on the bus and you said, "This is it. This is home." And you know, you waved goodbye and thought this was way nicer than anywhere that I was going to live.
And by the way, hello world, here we come.
Here we come. Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw. You know, you saw America for the first time. It wasn't just New York and L.A. or where your grandparents lived or you know anything like that. You actually got to see the country.
That's great. We are with John Bon Jovi. The toll-free line is up and running here at 800-95-CBS-TV. That's 800-952-2788. I'm Tom. This is the simulcast. We're coming right back after a short break.
Is that a neighborhood ESTJ guy?
You do Gershwin?
There was a tribute album to Gershwin this year that Larry Adler, the harmonica player, for his 80th birthday did, and George Martin, the producer of the Beatles, produced the album and asked me if I would sing a song, and for the opportunity to meet him and then Larry, I jumped at the chance and flew to London and sang the song.
And how comfortable was it for you to do?
It was no problem. It was easy.
Good is good, isn't it?
Well, it was fun, and it was an honor to work with both of them because, boy, can Larry play, and George in the history, and I just said, you got to tell me Beatles stories. And so as long as he would tell me Beatles stories, I just sat there and sang all night for him.
Yeah, but I mean, when you sing Gershwin, you say to yourself,
fucking interest. Let's see, some more.
Good is good.
I know. The lyric, though, was so relatable, and I went through everything. I went through a catalog of material to find something that could be personally mine. You know, I mean, Summertime, and some of the other classics didn't really work. This one worked.
Yeah. And it was easy for you?
It was easy.
Here is Steve on the toll-free in Lawrence, Kansas. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. Here's John Bon Jovi. He's right here.
Hey, John. How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Hey, I appreciate you saying that you started doing the bar band circuit, and I'm wanting to extend an invitation to you to come to the fine community of Lawrence, Kansas, which has a hopping music scene, and do a bar gig.
All right, you never know. You just never know.
I mean, would you play a venue that small?
Sure. Our situations usually are if we play a big venue and you've got the energy or you're staying the night, you find the local bar and you do that.
Yeah.
You just go.
By the way, Steve, you know, and All American knows. Remember the movie The Day After where they blew up the United States and everybody died on ABC?
Yeah.
The movie that was supposed to scare everybody. Isn't Lawrence...
See how responding he is? He's responding. Direct responding. Let's go ahead and start knocking that stuff off. So, he's direct. Okay, he's specific, concise, to the point. He's responding. He's just sitting there, relaxing. And we also, it's very important to find like this metric, progression versus outcome. That's the most important. Like, if I am going to say someone's direct responding, I'm always going to check behind for progression. I'm always going to check behind for progression. Okay, because you need to find that metric. If you're not finding that metric, you might be getting it wrong. So always look for that metric. Progression, movement, process, whatever it is, you want to make sure you find that one. So he's that direct, responding, progression. So with that being said, the types that are 12 types are eliminated with those metrics alone. These are called the finishers or the chart the course type. That's going to be your ISTJs, your INTJ, INFJ, and ISTP. He's also SENI, okay? So ISTJ falls off by the wayside just because of that. So you're down to ISTP. ISTP, let's go up there. I mean, we kind of already know this guy's type, okay? He's INFJ, but let's make sure. INTJ, just when you get that, you just know that you're down to these types. And INFJ. Let's go back hunting.
Kansas, Steve, the place where the bomb hit?
That's where the movie was filmed.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
What was it like there? I mean, did that bring a lot of money into the local economy, millions of dollars?
Oh, sure it did, because this is a
Look at him. Direct outcome. See, we think he's ESTJ.
non-union state, and they love that.
All right, Steve. Yeah.
It's great to see you on, and especially after Dave. I think it's the strongest 2 hours on TV.
You're kidding, really?
No, and the CNBC stuff was also very good, you know, relaxed and informal and
Right.
all, but, you know, I really do think we need to call a sweat meeting and get this thing under control.
Hey, Steve, we're having no more meetings this week. We're all through with meetings, all right?
Let's call in the Mayo Clinic.
I beg your pardon?
Let's call in the Mayo Clinic dermatologist.
All right, Steve, have a great weekend and take care, and thanks for the laugh.
Best of success, Tom.
All right, thank you,
Take it
sir.
easy.
All
Bye,
right,
John.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Tracy in Attleboro, Massachusetts. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing, Trace?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm fine. John Bon Jovi's right here.
Hi, John.
Hi, Trace.
Well, going with the previous caller, talking about playing hole in the walls in small clubs, I had the extreme pleasure of seeing you play in December, the benefit concert you did in Boston,
Oh, yeah.
which was amazing. I've
Oh,
seen you
that's
over a
nice.
dozen times, and the show was a free-for-all, and it was the most fun I think I've ever had at a show.
Oh, thank you very
It was one
much.
of the best concerts you guys ever did.
Thank you. That's kind of you. Every Christmas, we for the last 5 years, I've done a very small theater in our hometown, and we charge an exorbitant amount of money for the tickets and give every nickel of it to the local food bank, the women's shelter, the
terrific.
kids, and
There we go. They got the affiliate coming in. There is the global interest as well.
5 years running now, and this year to the local food bank, the women's shelter. Thank you. That's kind of you. Every Christmas, we for the last 5 years, I've done a very small theater in our hometown, and we charge an exorbitant amount of money for the tickets and give every nickel of it to the local food bank, the women's shelter, the
terrific.
kids, and 5 years running now. And this year, we decided, being that it's the 5th year, let's do 5 shows, and one of them was Boston. Again, the very, very small, intimate theater where anything goes, cover songs, new songs, old songs.
But now, is there a plan to it, or do you just go in
no.
free for all and like?
Truly from the cuff. In the Boston show,
Right from the cuff progression. Let's go.
I had Drew Bledsoe out there singing.
Oh, really?
You know, Cam
You
Neal.
just love a bad name.
Yeah, he and Scott.
SE, he did name drop for TE there, but whatever. You don't care.
Zolak and Matty Barr and Steve Diassi and all the Patriots and the couple of Bruin guys and all of these athletes that were there, and Peter Wolf.
Talking about what other people are doing. They had this here, there, SENI, SENI.
From the Jay Giles band was at this show.
And like Tracy, do you get to shout out? Could you play? Do they get requests in these things?
They were asking for a few. It was pretty hard to be heard, although it was a small place. We were making a lot of noise.
Right, and what's the exorbitant amount of money you'd have to pay?
Well, I don't know, actually, because I work in the concert circuit in Boston. And
she got in for nothing. Here we are raising money for charity, giving it all to the cancer fund there in Boston, and she got in for nothing. I think you should make a donation to the KISS Cancer Fund.
Hey, I wanted to see you that bad. I snuck in.
Tracy, I'm glad you called.
There's got to be something to be said for that, John.
There was.
Yeah, there is. Tracy, I'm glad you called. Have a good weekend now.
Thank you. Happy New Year, John.
All right. Good night.
Congratulations.
Thank you, dear.
What would be, in your view, what's the toughest kind of music you have to sing and play? What's hard for you to do?
Oh, my. I don't know, because everything is really rock and roll based. It's not that I go out and do everything from stage stuff to classical stuff to country stuff. It's all stuff that I've written through the years.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And it's based in songs that I've
You've never sung anybody else's stuff?
No, there was one song on my first album that
he like initiated on Bon Jovi there. Yeah.
Record guy says, if you do this, we'll give you a deal. I did it. He didn't give me a deal. You know, and I never
fool me once, shame on me. Fool me for once,
right.
Shame on me the second time.
The second time, I was not a fool ever again. And it was a fine, nice song, but it was very difficult to relate to someone else's words and to sing about someone else's experiences. So it's never happened, and I hope it never does.
You know, not a lot, but some musicians have fought hard against the battle of addiction and have lost to it. Most recently comes to mind the name of Kurt Cobain. When there is an event like that in your fraternity, what does it do to you?
That affected me. It affected me greatly for a number of reasons, but one was that he had a baby daughter who was the same age as my own daughter. And the pleasure that my daughter gives me and brings to me, I'm sorry for her, for his daughter, Frances, that she won't have that fun that I want to have with my own daughter, you know? And that's the first thing that really crushed me. But the pitfalls of this business, like any other high-profile business that all of us are in these days.
Some FE there for FE parent, boy. Yeah.
I have a problem with. If you have a problem,
some NI because he was like the way I want to raise my daughter, he won't be the same. It's the way I want, and that was also FE, man. I'm some FE there, nice FE.
Being famous, don't be famous.
Yeah, exactly. Walk away.
He could still write great songs. He could still play great songs. You know, why do you have to give in to the pitfalls of it? Just cool it. Don't go on the road.
Or if you don't want to have that kind of attention and notoriety. I was talking here last night with Keirsey Grammer, and let's face it, when you become Keirsey Grammer, you forfeit a certain amount of your private life, and if you don't want to do it, you just don't do Frasier anymore. That's all.
Do it.
And how do you keep those size 10s on the ground, those feet? How do you keep it all in balance?
I don't know. I don't know that you certainly run amok for a while. I think it comes with experience of getting slapped down when you get too big, when you go home again, where we're from, and the idea that everybody, like I said, still lives in the same area, and you go home at night when it's all over. There aren't any Joneses to keep up with, in the sticks.
That's well said. No more Joneses to keep up with. Back with John Bon Jovi for just a few more moments and a couple of your calls on the toll-free highway. And then a little bit later on tonight, Barry Minko, the young man who started out as a carpet cleaner and wound up going to jail for fraud, for defrauding people out of $26 million and more. We'll be right back after a break. John Bon Jovi tonight. On Monday night, Gary Shandling is here, and the Reverend Bernice King, who is Martin Luther King's daughter, to commemorate the birthday of this great American leader. And here is Cindy on the toll-free line in Mooresville, Pennsylvania. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, Cindy.
Good evening.
Here's John Bon Jovi. Say hi.
Hello, John.
Hello, Cindy.
I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
My question to you is, I was wondering how you and the band have stayed together. I know it's tough to keep a band together these days, and you guys seem like you're really close.
and have a good, strong friendship?
Well, that's what it's based on. I think that we've seen the ups and the downs, and it is based on friendship. And without that, it really wouldn't be worth doing.
But there have been some changes through the years. There always are.
One,
is that all?
2 months ago, for the first time in 12 years, we lost our bass player who's left the band. But other than that, I've never had anyone else. And there will be no replacement named for Alec, our bass player. There won't be another bass player named. No.
It's hard to hear that.
The loyalty is.
But then don't you?
I'll hire a guy for a tour or something. But
I got you. But there'll be no permanent bass player.
There will be no member of the band. There's no in the foreseeable future.
I don't think I've ever heard of a band that did that. Where if somebody passes away, you don't replace he or she.
No, my guys have been incredibly loyal to me for the 12 years we've been together, and I had no intention of hiring or bringing in a member, of the band.
Very good. Send it.
That's some NF shit there, boy. That's some NF shit there. You hear what he said? He's not hiring another person to take the spot of somebody who died. So most people would just move on and say, we got to find another spot, another member. But he's like, we're going to figure out a way to keep that special place there for that patient who was loyal to him. Loyalty.
I'm glad you called. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good evening now.
You too. Bye-bye.
So you're going to be in the movies, Moonlight and Valentino. When can we expect this to come?
I hear April, May. It's all done. They've put it together now, and it's my first time out at it. It was a challenge. I wanted it as a...
you're not you. You play a role in this?
I play a role in the film. I guess... They believe that I'm Valentino throughout the film, and it's a bunch of wonderful actresses: Whoopi Goldberg, Kathleen Turner, Elizabeth Perkins is the star of it, and a man named David Onspot directed it, who did Hoosiers and Rudy and some really great.
Did you see Rudy, by the way?
I sure did.
Isn't that a great picture?
Great picture.
Yeah. What a great. Just a little tiny picture.
I love that.
And the other one I loved, there was this picture out over Christmas with Bonnie Hunt. Who I'm crazy for Bonnie Hunt. Remember, she's with Charles Grodin in the dog picture. Beethoven, right? It was called Only You, where they go to Italy. And Pavarotti sings, and they take a tour of northern Italy. It was just a wonderful, wonderful picture.
I love movies. I'm a big fan of movies.
How was the experience of, starting and stopping in motion picture work, where you do your scenes, and then you go to your trailer, and then you come back? That's tough work. Very tough discipline.
Yeah, it's a long time and big setups, and it's a different discipline is the way I looked at it. It's much different to speak someone else's words, to have to take on someone else's actions. But the challenge is what excited me. It wasn't something I jumped into. I've waited quite a long time to even be interested, let alone take it on. But with this project and these people, it was something I couldn't say no to.
Yeah, and then you had a Christmas video, as I recall, with Cindy Crawford, where you just kind of sucked face for a...
One has to suffer for their art once in a while. It's tough being me. All in the good name of charity, nonetheless. It's the Special Olympics, actually, something...
All in the good name of charity. Special Olympics. We're going back to this shit, this global interest and affiliative, all in the name of charity. I wonder just how much money this man is giving away, or Sinetroid.
Christmas video, as I recall, with Cindy Crawford, where you just kind of sucked face for a... One
has to suffer for their art once in a while. It's tough being me. All in the good name of charity, nonetheless. It's the Special Olympics, actually, something I've been very involved in for a number of years.
I know.
And their album...
See that? Man, no matter what, this guy's giving back. Special Olympics, Christmas, come on, bro. This guy is making me feel like a bad person here.
Second album, because I've done both of them for them, was done a couple of years ago, and Herb Ritz, the fine photographer, is a video director, and he asked me if I would do the video for the song I had sung 2 years later, and he, being a very good friend of Cindy's, pulled her in, and it's tough being me, and it's probably the reason she's now getting divorced.
Oh, come on. Oh, stop it.
Yeah. I think we should retake a couple of those shots.
I'll bet you 5 against 40 that you might have been a little shy about it.
Just a little bit.
I know.
I'm lying. See what a good actor I am.
You know, if you're this good in Moonlight and Valentino, you got a hit on your hands, kid. Anyway, Happy New Year. Thanks for coming in tonight, and happy baby.
Yes.
Boy or girl, you don't know.
Baby, that's
hey,
all I
healthy.
care about.
Good luck and
Thanks,
much love.
Tom.
Thanks, Bon Jovi. By the way, the new CD is out now. It is John Bon Jovi. It is called Crossroad. It's a collection of great hits. We'll be right back with Barry Minko and the story of the $26 million swindle.
All right, we're done here. So, see, out of these 3 types that's on the board here, okay, the only one out of the ISTP, INTJ, and INFJ that's affiliative, which means is interdependent, talking about the community, cares about cooperation, is the INFJ. So as soon as you get that metric in there, you're like, boom, we're done. We're done here. Not to mention he was interest, but it's more of the global interest. What's in it for everybody? I'm trying to make everybody happy here. I'm doing these charities. I'm doing this Special Olympics. I'm doing all this. And it seems that he's been doing that for a long time. So for now, we can go ahead and delete these. Okay. He is an INFJ. That's fun. I mean, we kind of knew when he started sounding like fucking Kurt Cobain early on. I'm like, I've heard that voice before. Don't you play that with me. I've heard that voice. Okay, so we got INFJ. INFJs, as you know, are responding. You saw that in the interview with him. They also abstract, okay? Probably has that all in his music. Also, NI can be a lot harder to see in the abstraction because they believe in symbols and envisioning their future and things like that. That doesn't just readily come out like NE does. NE does come out a lot in language. You'll see them say a lot of what ifs a lot of time with the NE users. But he's also interest. We talked about that, you know. Affiliative, doing the right thing. He's direct, okay. He's progression, he's journey, he's SENI, and he's TIFE, okay. So we got him as INFJ. I'm gonna say Dario Nardi had a subset. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say this guy is creative, okay. I'm just gonna put CEA. Okay, so he's creative. Enneagram here is kind of tough. I'm going to go creative. I'm going to go above average INFJ. Okay. I mean, we got some killers out there on the INFJ, like Ronaldo. So we're going to go above average. And I'm going to hit him with 6W7. Okay, House of Intuition, 6. 6W7, I'm going to go SO/sexual, fuck it. That's what we're going with. That's what we're rocking with for John Bon Jovi. So we got him as INFJ, 6W7, social/sexual, above average, okay? He's punching up there. He's punching up there, and he's creative subset, okay? I should tell you a lot about John Bon Jovi. Comment below what you thought and what you thought his type was. Did you notice the voice? Did you notice his voice would sound similar to somebody? I mean, if you watched the last video, you should have been able to pick that up. But it's Mongolian Mindset, and we're out.